So I'll start with the examples of like chores, okay? So like chores, she expects me to do them, so I do them. Okay, fine. But then, even as it goes to, it's time for me to go to college. I picked a college that I wanted to go to. It was in Utah. My friend's brother went there. I visited. I liked it. I was ready to go. She hated that, of course, because it meant I was far away from her. I mean, we're in California at the time. Still far enough. She decides, no, what you want to do actually is go to this private college close to home. It's 45 minutes away from the house. It's a great school, not complaining about getting an education. Obviously, that's a whole nother story. But the fact that she took away my ability to choose, right? This was my choice. And she forced her way in, making me feel like I should do what she wants me to do because she has the best interests, my best interests at heart. So she tells me where to go to school. Then I start dating somebody. Granted, it was long distance relationship. My mom hated her because she was somebody who encouraged me to be different, right? I went through an emo phase. I pierced my ears. I wore all black. I got into heavy metal. I tried new things with this person. And I did love her. But my mom hated her because it meant me branching out way too far. So she went so far as to recruit her friends to tell me that this wasn't a good idea. So I did date her for a couple years, but I eventually did move on. Now, did I move on because that's what I wanted, or is it because I felt obligated at a certain point? I don't know. I don't know. Probably the latter. She told me where to work. My mom's an attorney. She has friends who are attorneys. So she told me, you're going to go work for this person because it's a good job, and maybe you'll end up going to law school later. What? I got a degree in kinesiology. I'm a personal trainer now, right? She wants me to go to law school because she went to law school. She wants me to work in a law firm because she thinks it's a good influence, but really it's just about control. So again, out of obligation, I go and work. I'm not saying I'm not thankful to have a job and whatever, but this is about her controlling everything that I do. So now I'm working and I'm considering going to law school, and I don't know, maybe. I hated it. It was a miserable experience. My boss was a complete narcissist. It was a horrible experience. I hated it. So when I eventually told her that I wanted to use my degree for something that actually involved the degree, which was personal training, she is kind of like, oh, okay, well, I guess if that makes you happy. She had my grandpa call me, right? My grandpa's somebody else who's successful, right? He started his own company and sold it and has all this money. Great. My grandpa's talking to me on the phone like, well, it's really nice not to have to worry about paying the bills. And he's talking to me about all this stuff about basically money's what matters most. I wonder where my mom got that from. Are you kidding me? She couldn't even tell me that she didn't like the idea. She had to get my grandpa to call to try to talk me out of it. And, again, so this was more closer towards the tail end of me starting to wise up. So I was like, what a bunch of garbage. Pushed me even more to want to change. So then now I'm with the person I want to marry. So, okay, great. Everybody's happy that I'm with this person. Everybody agrees she's great. Now my mom says, well, this is where you're going to have your wedding, right? This is a special place. We do all that. We go here every year, and they have a wedding venue. And don't get me wrong, I mean, it was a place that I wanted to have my wedding, but we're talking California, the beach. This is an expensive venue. And no, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I will take care of it. This is going to be beautiful. This is exactly what you want. And I believed that because it was a special place for me and my wife, because that's where I proposed. So it did make sense. But going through the whole experience of getting our wedding together, my mom made it all about her. She tried to pick everything. She picked my wife's dress, basically. She picked the food we had. It just went on and on and on. This was her dream wedding. Her dream, not mine. Hers. Anytime that I tried to live my own life, my mom just slapped me on the wrist and said, no, that's not what you want. This is what you want. Trust me. And I trusted her. What kid doesn't trust their parent, right? You're supposed to. But now here's where this is so frustrating, and I'm talking about like now, is I haven't been able to I don't know what it feels like to be an authentic version of myself. I'm getting better at it, but I am so accustomed to following orders and doing what I'm supposed to be doing to make somebody else happy. It's really difficult for me to find what it is that I care about and what I want to do. So let's talk about the last one, guilt. And we're pairing that with her other favorite phrase, which is, well, sometimes you just do something because it's the right thing to do. Okay? Guilt and obligation are very similar. They kind of come from the same root. But again, me being somebody who feels guilt as opposed to her, I'll do something to avoid hurting them or disappointing them. And you talk to anybody who knows this, that's me, exactly. I will try my hardest. I will change my opinion on something just to make sure that it makes you feel better. So again, she would rely on the fact that, and prey upon the fact that I didn't want to let her down, to continue to make me do things that put her in a favorable light, okay? So now she was so proud of her son who went to college and graduated and has a job working at a law firm, and he's going to go to law school, and he's married, and isn't he just my precious boy? So she totes me around. She goes, oh, we're going to this dinner with my friends. It's the right thing to do. It would mean a lot to me if you went with me. Okay, fine. Oh, we're going to go to this party this weekend. It's somebody's retiring or something. Like, I don't want to go to a who cares? I have my own life. At this point, I'm married. So now I'm bringing my wife to all these things. We have stuff we want to do. You ever think about that? No, because she just wanted to show me off. Look at all the things he's done. And like a nice little boy, I would go and I would just pretend like it's what I wanted. Dinners, parties. I mean, the list goes on and on. She always found a way to infiltrate what I wanted. And for the longest time, I felt like that is what I wanted. Because she told me we respected one another, and she told me that you do the right things for people. Of course I want to do the right thing. We all want to do the right thing, but we want to do the right thing because we choose to do the right thing. It should be a choice, not an obligation or out of guilt or out of fear. It should be a choice. My dad, I have my own things I'm working on with my dad and have expressed some frustrations with him, but my dad was very much the opposite. And I will just say in this regard, when it comes to feeling guilty, my dad never made me feel guilty about a single thing ever. And if he did, I can't remember. I couldn't wait to spend time with my dad. I couldn't wait to call him up just to see what he was doing this weekend. Even if he was working on his car, I'd be like, I'd love to come over and help. Even if it was taking stuff to the dump or something, like a chore-based, I couldn't wait to spend time with him because he never made me feel like I owed him anything. And I know that's what my mom wanted. I know my mom wanted to spend time with me, but it was bought. The time was purchased and paid for, so I had to, right? Such a big difference between the two parenting styles. And now I'm no contact with my mom, and I do call my dad every once in a while, every couple of months, and we have a nice conversation, and it's great. Because I don't feel like I owe him anything. But whereas if I even entertain the idea of reaching out to my mom again, I know how it's going to go. One thing's going to lead to another, and eventually she's going to dig her claws back in, and she's going to use the fact that I left as an excuse. She's going to use the fact that I have kids. She has grandchildren she's never seen. She's going to do anything she can to make me feel guilty and come crawling back. Because what? Because I hurt her. And that's not nice. No, it's not nice. And it kills me that that's how I feel sometimes, that by making this decision to go no contact, that I feel guilty. It's just a prolonged portion of this. And it's so frustrating. Fear, obligation, and guilt is what these relationships with narcissists is based on. Nothing more. There is no love. There is no respect. Okay? It's preying upon your innate desires and needs to have a sense of belonging and to want to avoid hurting people. They rely on us. They rely on you to give that to them. And then they take that trust that you have in them and they just abuse it for their own selfish needs, for their supply. Don't give them any more supply. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve your love, which is actual love, because they have none to give for you. So don't believe it, okay? And I started talking about going no contact, but please check out my previous video. It's all about going no contact, why I think it's so important. But today's video just reinforces that, okay? This information parlays exactly into why you need to go no contact, because these things are not going to change. These people will not change, okay? So, as always, thank you so much for being here with me today. I really hope you like this information. If you need any support, please leave a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything that you'd like to see that I can talk about, or if there's anything that you need just in terms of support. I'd love to help in any way I can. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Bye.